Welcome aboard here at Northern Viking Explorer. If you're new here, my name is Ken.
I'm Andrea.
And today we're going to be doing a quick review of our cabin on the Carnival Vista. We were in a cove cabin on deck 2. Let's go ahead and dive right into it. So let's jump into our thoughts on our cabin on the Carnival Vista. We were in a cove balcony cabin on deck 2, cabin 2276.
So if you're not familiar with the Cove Balcony, we're on the second deck, and you're really close to the water.
I liked how close we were to the water. It was cool.
And one cool thing about that is literally cool. You can feel the mist from the waves. So we were close to the front of the ship.
Yeah.
And so when those waves break against is it called the bow?
I guess.
I don't know, maybe. You can let me know. The waves would crash, but then the mist kind of floats and it goes past your balcony.
That was more when it was stormy or wavy.
That's true. Yeah.
There was definitely signs of the salt that had gotten on the balcony because around the door. That must be hard
crusty
to keep clean, because of the salt kind of crystallizes there. But yeah, it was really neat being that close to the water. The lifeboats were above us, so they gave actually quite a bit of shade, which was nice.
Yeah.
And it was you're in kind of a metal, I don't know, oval kind of window, which is quite large. And this is our first time in a cove, and I actually quite enjoyed the cabin. Maybe not so much deck 2. It was a little bit further to walk to the pools and the kind of restaurants, but despite the distance to that, it was a nice cabin.
Yeah, it was, because it's metal, it feels more private. It does limit a little bit of the view, though, looking out, because it is kind of a rounded opening. It's not the same as
not a lot, but there was a little bit for sure. So.
Another thing, though, I really liked about this is when it was really hot, besides the mist, it was definitely cooler than being up on the Lido deck.
Yes, and I think I'd already mentioned that I found it cooler because the lifeboats were above us, and it kind of cast a shadow, which was nice.
I think being closer to the water, too, it was really comfortable, especially if you're going on a hotter cruise.
Yes, I would agree. In the cabin itself, I have a whole bunch. Can I just list a whole bunch of things I liked?
Yeah.
So the main cabinets, there was lots of hangers. There was kind of like 3 large cabinets. There was a mirror inside the cabinet. There was
full length.
Full length, yeah. A little mini fridge in there. It doesn't get super cold. It's more designed to keep your beverages cool.
A cooler.
And then, there was also a nice TV in there as well with lots of free movies.
Yes. I don't think the movie selection changes a whole lot, though, because when we were on the Panorama,
and even the Mardi Gras,
it was the same movies.
A lot of them. Then it changed slightly, but a lot of the same ones, because there was one we would joke about with our son, and it was still on there. So
he teased us for watching it. So,
but it's a decent sized TV and
a decent sized room too. I really appreciate that there's the couch or sofa in there.
I have that on my list.
It just gives a lot more space, and especially if you're getting ready, putting on socks or whatever, you can space out a little bit more, which was nice.
The bedding is nice.
Yes.
Well, I'm gonna have to bring up the mattress in a moment, but the bedding, the blankets, the pillows were nice.
Yes, I'd agree.
You would agree?
I've had nicer.
Yeah.
But they were good.
One thing, I just want to jump back to the TV. There was lots of movies, but we've been on other cruise lines that are even owned by Carnival, and they had a lot more on-demand comedies.
Which you like,
I like, and maybe that should probably go on my wish later. But
yeah.
I like just popping on a comedy and not having to commit to a whole movie, and so I would love to see a whole selection of on-demand comedies on there.
Especially if you can binge one show that you really like.
Yeah. So I just kind of thought of that.
Yeah.
Because it's not on my list here. the temperature control for air conditioning. So we were in the Caribbean. It was hot, and it kept our room nice and cool.
We were never hot in our cabin.
No.
It was perfect.
Yeah. So I like that. The water pressure in the shower was nice.
Okay, yeah.
I didn't feel like
That's true.
I didn't have to stand there for half an hour trying to wash the soap out of my hair. The block out curtains keep almost all of the light out. Mm-hmm. You'll see a little bit coming around the edge. But
it was nice.
It was nice and dark. And we'd already talked about this, but it was really nice being that close to the water. So I had quite a bit of things that I thought about the cabin. I do have some wishes, but I think do you have any more
one thing we didn't say was the vanity mirror in the bathroom. They have the round one that pulls out.
Oh, yeah.
Which you can use for shaving or makeup or whatever. Which, that's not on all cruise ships.
No.
So that was a nice extra.
Yeah.
And they had some...
There's the hairdryer in the drawer. Is it powerful enough? Or
the hairdryer, that's a hit or miss depending who you are. For me, it would be enough, but it's not a very strong one, and it is the kind that you have to hold the button down to power. So it's kind of, it's fine.
It's fine. Adequate?
It's fine. It's adequate.
Yeah.
But if you have really thick hair, you might be really frustrated.
I do want to mention, so there's, in our cabin, 2 USB ports, 2 regular 120s, and 1 European plug for the plugs that we could see anyway.
At the vanity.
Yeah, at the vanity.
Yeah.
They were all at the vanity. That will be a wish as well. So, do you have any other likes? There's lots to like. I like the colors too.
And it's, it feels open and clean and large. I was happy.
I like the beach vibe kind of look in there.
I even like because there's a window as well. I'd hoped to be in a cabin that had, and I knew this when we booked it, but I like the idea of having the sliding glass door. But it's actually like would you call it a man door?
It's a man door, yeah.
To go out onto the balcony. But the one advantage to that is you have a nice window, and the window has a really nice ledge in it. Which
That's
is
true.
kind of
you could have actually have sat on it if you wanted.
Yeah, it's kind of a cool little space.
I kind of kept some of our stuff there.
Yeah, so that's a perk. No, there's lots to like.
There's lots to like. That's. Yeah. I do have some wishes.
Okay, I know.
I want to start out with the lack of plugs beside the bed. There's no USB port. There's no regular plug. I don't know if you dug around behind the couch or under the bed if there's anything, but nothing that we could see.
That's right.
So, you agree. I know you. I like to charge my phone beside the bed or use it as an alarm clock, and I might be on it in the evening. I don't want to have to get up and go plug it in, and then so.
I like at least a USB plug next to the bed. So that was missed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything else? What do you have? I'm sure you have a
few. Well, you know what? I said the mist was nice. And I would say, like, most of the time it was nice. But sometimes I didn't appreciate the mist.
Well, probably after you did your hair.
Yeah.
You had problems with all the humidity in your hair.
I couldn't learn. I would curl my hair and go out on the deck.
Yeah.
Yeah, but even if you were, I'm just thinking if you were to take this on a cooler, it might be too cold. Like if you had rainy weather.
If it was a cooler cruise, maybe a different time of year, yeah.
What I would probably book next time if I was doing a cove is I'd like to try it next or more to the aft of the ship.
Okay.
So that, because I felt like a lot of the mist came from the front.
Well, when we were kind of going through the big waves, some of the waves were actually splashing all the way up to the lifeboats above us.
It was cool. It was cool. Really cool to watch. The other thing is I was wondering if the visibility is better at the aft. I'm curious. So if you've been at the aft on the cove, maybe you know, because when we were up on deck 10 on the panorama, it was really easy to see the wildlife in the water. Yeah. But because
it's a different angle.
And the break of the waves, I couldn't see through the waves down. Yeah. When it was wavy. So I'm curious if you're at the back, if you have better visibility. Do you think?
It's hard to say. I don't know.
We haven't stayed in one at the back. We got to cruise again.
Yes. I wish there were more hooks in the room. There's 3 behind the door and 1 behind the door in the washroom and 1 by the washroom. So we actually just ordered some magnetic hooks to bring with next time.
I agree.
I used my magnetic GoPro mount as a hook, but then I forgot one of those on the panorama. So
Yeah, somebody else.
somebody else has my GoPro mount, but yeah, it's okay. Shower curtain.
That's not your favorite.
It's not my favorite.
I like the glass better too.
Yeah. No conditioner.
But that's kind of common, actually.
It is, but I'm almost surprised.
Yeah. So there is shampoo and there is body wash, but no conditioner. So.
Any others? I have one kind of bigger one.
I think I might know. So why don't you go ahead and say?
Well, I'd like to do that last. Do you have any more? Or
no.
No? Okay.
Oh, no, I do. I do. And we kind of...
Oh, I do have one more.
Okay. This might be an us problem and not so much a ship problem. We knew this when we booked the cabin.
Oh,
so
maybe this isn't what I'm thinking.
This is an us problem. I like to either bring coffee back to my room or ice cream. Or sometimes coffee and ice cream. So, being that it was on the second deck, the ice cream and the coffee didn't make it to the cabin.
Well, they were already gone by the time we... If you get an ice cream at the Marketplace Buffet and you walk there, it was gone by the time you got to the cabin.
Yeah, because it took a while to get there.
On the panorama, we were on the Lido deck, so you still had your ice cream when you made it to the cabin.
Yeah, and I know we could have ordered coffee as room service. I know that. So, but if you like to take food from the buffet to sit on your balcony, and even when we were on the panorama, I got Blue Iguana Cantina. Is that right? Blue Iguana?
Yeah.
Yeah. And had my burrito out there on the deck, which I really enjoyed sitting there. It's not as convenient if you're in a cove balcony.
So, I have two things. The one is the mattress.
Okay, this was odd.
This was weird. So I did not get a sore back sleeping on it, so that's good.
I slept fine.
I slept fine, but it felt like there was partially air mattress. We both laid in bed and we're like, is this an air mattress?
When you move, it feels like an air mattress. it
was a comfortable air mattress, but I think it was like half air mattress. I don't know how to explain it.
I didn't love the sensation though.
No. The Panorama's mattress felt much
traditional.
better. And the Mardi Gras mattress felt
normal.
Okay, I will say this. It felt a lot nicer than the Carnival Splendor mattress.
Yes. Okay, but that was a few years ago.
That was a few years ago, and that was a much older ship.
Yes, and that was before their
refurbished it.
So we don't know what they have now. But
it's not the worst mattress we've had on a cruise ship.
No, but it was different.
Yeah.
It was definitely different.
It reminded me more of, we were at a Radisson hotel once, and the mattress, you could push a button and it would inflate it or deflate it. It felt closer to that than a regular mattress.
Yeah, somewhere between an air mattress though and a spring mattress.
But I did not have a sore back after, so that was good. That was good.
So we'll take the win.
So I don't know if that was a wish. It was just a different. But my wish is that the ship is definitely showing signs of wear.
Agreed.
So, especially in the cabin area.
Yeah. No, I don't want to steal your thunder though here.
No, that's okay. You can steal it.
So if I were to turn this into a positive wish rather than a complaint, I wish there was currently if you have a problem, you should contact customer service or your room steward and let them know right away. And that is what we did. They fixed all our little problems. But I wish there was a little form or something.
Or even in the app, you could tap on it and put in the problem.
Yeah, because sometimes I don't like to complain when I'm on a trip. And so little things can become big problems if they're not maintained. So I would just like to have clicked down this needs to be checked on, this needs to be checked on, and this needs to be checked on.
Because there's quite a few things. And, if you don't report them, then the next person's going to have the same problem the next week.
And you can start to feel frustrated when you go to use things and they're not working. Should we talk about the things that were...
Sure. And I know the ship is going to have some refurbishment going on.
Yes.
Within, I think, the next year or so or less. So I don't want to bash on this too much, and I know stuff wears out. So, but I will say the sink was cracked.
Yep.
The clothesline in the shower was broken, and it did get repaired.
And our room steward had it repaired immediately.
The shower wasn't draining, so they repaired that as well. So right away.
I know it. This isn't a big deal, but how do you know that it doesn't become a bigger deal? If your sinks or your showers aren't draining, you need to tell
Well, I think
somebody.
it was more that the first day, all of a sudden, there was 4 or 5 things that were frustrating. The balcony door was broken, and they fixed that.
So it was the handle, the lock
Was not latching, so the door would in the wind all night.
So there was a lock up high, a latch, and so that is what was keeping the door closed, which was fine until we hit rougher seas. And then all night, that door went bang, 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 bang.
Yeah.
So then it wasn't so cool anymore.
No. So we were able, I think it was fixed on the 3rd day. The 2nd day, I put closed a towel in the door, and it stopped the banging. But it was just, I wish those things had been maybe noticed when it was cleaned and repaired.
But you know what? They wouldn't know what the door unless someone says something. So I just wish that there was a process where people could just, without feeling like they're complaining, jot down any maintenance that needs to happen.
So, yeah, other than that, I mean, the room was lovely. I did enjoy the room.
I did too.
And I always hate seeing the wishes. So,
you know what? Overall, it was a lovely room, and the Cove Balcony was fun to try. I think I would go back up to the Lido as my favorite, but...
So those are our thoughts on our stateroom on the Carnival Vista.